All right, here we go. 1-2, linearity, intercepts, and symmetry. Essential question, how can I tell if a function is odd or even? So hopefully by the end of class tomorrow, you will know how to do that. First of all, linear functions. What is the root word of linear? Line, yes, line is correct. You're right. I actually had someone tell me ear before. It's not ear, it's line. Well, I'm glad you didn't, Chloe. That would have been hard for me not to say something silly. All right. All right, we know that something is a linear function if x and y can only be raised to the first power What do I mean by first power? You're exactly correct. Your exponent can only be 1. What would it be if it was a 2? I'm sorry? Second power, but what shaped graph would that be? No, an exponential graph is raised to the x, but you're close. How about a parabola? Is a parabola a U-shaped graph that's raised to the second power? It is. I would lie to you, but I'm not currently. Raised to the first power in the form of and hopefully you have seen this before. Matter of fact, I'm 100% sure you have. Y equals mx plus b. Or ax plus by equals c. Most of the time, most algebra teachers deal with the one on the left, not the one on the right. So does anyone remember that what this is titled, what this is called? Slope intercept is perfect. So this is slope intercept. Good job, boys and girls that said that. Slope intercept. Does anyone know what this one is? Who said that? Good job, you are correct. You have brought honor and dignity to yourself. And that is standard form. And the A must be a whole number, and the A and B must be on the same side. That's just some bonus material for you. All right. And as we were told earlier, the graph is a straight line. The graph is a straight line. And I assume you all heard Mr. Hernandez back to school night is tomorrow. So I don't know what time. I wasn't listening that closely, but I can look it up if you need me to. I will be here. I'm required to be here. If a function is not linear, comma, space, then it is called, any thoughts on what we call a graph that is not linear? Non-linear. We're on it this morning. Good job. Non-linear. Can anyone give me an example of a nonlinear graph? I just told you one a few minutes ago. Parabola. or a cubic quartic yeah, it is. It's just the I kind of bled into it. Who asked that? You, Riley?
Yeah.
Lucky we're recording. All right.
I'm not the one that has that name.
Okay. I'm not the one that has to pass the test Friday. All right, cubic. So a parabola is raised like an x raised to the 2. Any idea what a cubic would be? Raised to the third. Do we have any culinary kiddos in here? No one? You are? How many quarts are in a gallon?
4.
4 is correct. How many quarters are in a dollar? So what do you think the exponent of a quartic is? 4. And that actually looks like an M or a W if you were to graph it. So, depends on if it's upside down or not. All right, example 1. Determine if the function is linear. You know, Ryan, I could always put it on a slideshow and let you just write it down like that. I mean, I've done that in the past, but I prefer to do it like this because the pacing's better. So, determine if the function is linear. So this is a f of x. What is f of x the same as? It is a function, but what is it the same as on my function table? Y. Who said that? You? You? You are correct. Good job. Say it loud, say it proud. You are correct. All right, f of x is the same as y. I'll probably only say that about 800 times in this class. There's only one more thing I say more often than that, but we're not there yet. All right, 6x minus 5 divided by 3. So what we need to do is figure out if that is linear. What does a 3 belong to? Does it belong to the 6x or the negative 5 or both? Just the 6x? The whole thing. So a good mathematician would split it into 2 pieces. 6x divided by 3 minus 5 divided by 3. Can I simplify 6x divided by 3? 2x. I like the sound of that. Is that in standard form or slope-intercept form? Is it y equals mx plus b, Connor? You have a 50-50 chance. Thank you, James. You are correct. So yes, this is linear. Determine if the function is linear. Yes, it is linear. And that's not a sentence. That's why I didn't put anything that's yes, linear. All right, we're going to do a check. I'll give you just a second to write down. I don't see anyone writing, so I'm David's writing. That's fine. I'm here at 3 o'clock today, or 2:30, so take your time. All right, here we go. Please tell me if this is linear or not. I'm going to cram it in here just to save some space. If I would have known that, David, I could have just kept going, but I just decided that. All right, check. Determine if this is linear. 5y equals 4 plus 3x cubed. All right, about 30 more seconds. Make sure you turn and talk with your neighbor and ask them if they have the same answer as you. All right, let's go on. What we're doing is solving for y. So what we have to do is get the y by itself. So the 5 is multiplying. So to get rid of it, we divide. So that gives me y equals, it's better math practice to do 3x cubed over 5 plus 4x. Is 3x cubed a straight line? No, it's not. It's a cube. It's a cubic. So this is not. So this would be a no. It's nonlinear. Questions, comments, concerns about that? It's nonlinear because we have a cube. You're not allowed to have anything but a 1. A 1 or nothing. All right, I'm going to turn my page. Example 2. Determine whether each graph is linear or non-linear. Alright, I'm just making a little coordinate plane here, nothing fancy, nothing special. Shelly, is that linear or non-linear? What do you think? It's kind of a trick question because it's created from what? It's created from 2 lines. But our definition of linear says it's only a straight line. Is that only one straight line? No. So is it linear? No. Last year, people on the test got that wrong. There's a question similar to that. And they put that it was linear. So, I'm sorry? Someone said something? All right, so that is actually non-linear. Even though it's created by 2 lines, it's still non-linear. Let's try another one. This is your check, so please come up with an answer. And then make sure your neighbor has the correct answer as well, please. Chloe, I'm still working on my project.
It's okay.
No, you don't understand.
Projects take time.
Yes, but what'll happen is I'll forget about it, and then at 10 o'clock tonight I'll be laying in bed saying, I forgot to upload my, and then I'll feel shame. I don't want to feel shame.
No one wants to feel that.
No. It is. I agree. All right. Obviously, that's a straight line. It doesn't matter if it's vertical, horizontal, diagonal. That is a line. This is Algebra 2 Honors. I would expect you to recognize that's a line. Right, Savannah? All right. Who here loves word problems? So make sure you don't ask me when are you ever going to use this in life, because that means you want me to put word problems on the test. That's the way I interpret that. So be careful what you say to me. So what I did is I took a word problem and I condensed it. What does condensed mean? Yes, I made it as small as I possibly could. So we have weeks and we have earnings. Earnings. There we go. I got it. I'm not using my ruler, so I don't think this will be very good, but that's okay. All right, so in week 1, Michaela made $85. Week 2, she made $119. Week 3, she made $153. Week 4, $187. And week 5, $221. All right, here we go. Michaela has started working part-time. And her time steadily increases for the first 5 weeks. Are her earnings linear or non-linear? All right, any thoughts on how we figure out if this is linear or non-linear? Yes, sir.
Basically, all you gotta really do is you see that like where like one x or like another x is just linear. If you like double check, you can do the same thing.
So really what you're telling me is find the slope between 2 lines and make sure it has a consistent slope. That is perfect. You are exactly correct. Another way we can do it, for those of you that don't want to figure out the slope, is could we graph it?
Yeah.
That's what I did. I graphed it. So make a little a little graph, please. Doesn't have to be anything overly amazing. 99% of the time is your independent variable, which is on the bottom. This is new notes.
Okay. Are you recording it?
Yes.
So can I just keep it? Are you supposed to do it today?
Yes.
Okay. So.
All right. So as I was saying, time is almost always the independent variable, which means it's on the bottom of your graph. So that's 1. For those of you taking the SAT, ACT, that I guarantee you that'll be on your ACT, SAT. Graphing independent variables. 3, 4. We only went out 5 weeks. My earnings were, what would be a good thing, because it goes up to 221. I think I'm going to go by 40s. So halfway will be 40. My first line will be 80, 120, 160, 200. All right, according to my table, week 1 was 85, so that's going to be just above my line. Week 2 was 120, that's going to be exactly halfway between my lines. Week 3 is 150, so it's going to be just below my line. Week 4 is 187, so it's going to be halfway between, or it's going to be a little bit more than halfway between 160 and 200. Week 5 is 221, so it's going to be right about there. And I know I didn't do it exactly correct, but it's pretty close. It's close enough that if I make my dots a little bigger, it's a line. It's a straight line. All right, there's not a check on this one. That's pretty straightforward. So hopefully we don't need to do one. You okay back there? X-intercept. X-intercept is the x-coordinate of a point where the graph crosses the x-axis. So the x-intercept crosses it's where it crosses the x-axis. What's the y-intercept? Where it crosses the y. I realize this is very basic. Don't worry, we'll get into more advanced math in the future. And I know it's a lot of notes today. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. Y-intercept is the y-coordinate of a point where the graph crosses the y-axis. We have 6 minutes left. We're going to do 2 examples and stop there. All right, can I go on? We're good? All right, example 4. I'm going to draw a coordinate plane, a small one. and then add a line. All right, and what it's asking us to do is estimate the x and y intercepts. All right, where is my x-intercept crossing? Positive or negative? Negative 2. And where's my y-intercept crossing? Positive 1. That's just going up 1. Okay, not that difficult, correct? All right, we have 5 minutes left. Let's do one more example, and all you really have to do is stare at the board. This one's actually in your book. You don't need to write it down. I wrote it down, but it was a waste of time, in my professional opinion. So you're not going to write it down. You're all smart. That's why you're in this class. Okay. So really, this is all it wants you to do is, what are the x and y intercepts? Where's the x-intercept? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the y-intercept would be at 2. It's really basic. On this one, does it matter if there's more than one x-intercept? No. So it would be like 1, 2, 3. So it would be at -4, -2, 0, 3, and 5 would be your x-intercepts. There's more than one x-intercept. Yeah, that's what I did. And on that note, we're going to stop there.